Hi everyone, welcome back again to Spiritual Growth Tarot. I'm Denise, and today I'm going to read on whether or not the GOP members who have, well, let's say the majority of them who have aligned with Trump, I'm wondering if they're afraid for their lives. Have they been threatened in some way by either Trump or Russia or whatever? We'll just, I'm going to look at it from a few different angles so that we can figure out like what's really going on there. So, okay, well let me get the camera dropped down here and I'll get started. Okay, so a couple of things before I get started. I'm using this deck that I was exposed to by watching Danny Shea, Bathrobe Tarot. Everybody should watch his channel. He's incredibly funny and very gifted. So shout out to Danny Shea for turning me on to this deck. It's an oracle deck, and it's all about working with your shadow. So it might be something that you guys might be interested in. It's called Dark Mirror by Laura Sava. But there's not that many cards. It comes with this book that has, 6 or 8 different languages in it. So what I did is I just tore out the ones for English, and I have it right here because I might have to look at them to figure out the meanings of the cards. I wanted to use these cards, but I didn't want to take months to study the deck before I used it. Because why? I can read it out of the book if I need to for you guys. This card came from my little Haunted Mansion Tarot, and probably a good year ago or more, one of my Facebook friends wanted to know the future of the GOP, and I did like a 5-card spread, and this card came through, literally committing suicide, because so many of them were aligning with Trump. So I pulled this card out of that Haunted Mansion deck, or Haunted Tarot, I think it's called, just to let you know about that. Okay, so back to our question. Are GOP members afraid for their lives? So let's see what's really going on. And I'm going to do a 7-card spread here because I want to know what's going on for all of them that are aligned with Trump. Some of them might just be confused. Some of them might be very dark. Some of them may be I guess to put it politely, I just have to say distorted. So I want to know the truth. What is really going on with all these GOP members? Okay, so the forces in motion as a whole, interesting, and their challenges, yeah. Boy, we can read this one on a few different levels, I think. And then I think I'll do 3 cards up here to show the 3 main reasons why they have aligned themselves with Trump. And then I'll do 2 cards for their future. Ooh, I'd only meant to do 1. Oh well, I gotta take it. Can always draw more if things aren't clear, or I can bust out the tarot or the Lenormand. I think I've done enough Kipper readings on these guys, but you never know. I have such a good list of questions from you guys. I so appreciate that. So I'm going to be busy for the next few weeks. And I'm working by Saturday to get that Trump astrology reading up so we can see how the solar eclipse is going to affect him, because it's right there on his sun and moon, south node, north node, Uranus, all that. So anyway, the forces in motion, perchance to dream. Well, that's a really interesting image. I don't really know how to take that. Sometimes my brain doesn't work well looking at darkness, so I'm going to look it up. So it's card number 28. Okay, so it's this deck goes by the stages of the moon or the stages of grief and recovery, rebirth, all of that, loss, So anyway, this is the cards that's at the stage of denial. And I'll just read it to you real quick. So it's a new moon phase. One of the stages is denial. It says, if I sleep long enough, when I wake up, the pain will have gone. Sometimes when it's your body healing, yeah. When you're overcoming something, on the physical level, healing, yeah, but not in this case. So I guess the visual, it says the visual here is a crowned naked man is reclining, his eyes closed and his body dissolving in the wind. Another man holds him gently. Behind them, a circle of brass risen by silvery threads. So what this card is about is to die, to sleep, maybe to dream, perchance a dream, and then a question. And the advice here is to surrender, to drown, to dive in head first in the cozy, all-enveloping darkness of the blanket. It's a moment of weakness, a desire to close your eyes and surrender just for 1 moment, 1 second, 1 minute. Not like a hero fighting the world, but like a kid, just welcoming the darkness outside, within, and fully. Wow. And then the rest of it is a paragraph about how long it might last. So that's the forces in motion here. So they're in major denial, and they're hoping that this will all just go away, but they don't. I think they just don't have anything better going on. This is like one of those sick, twisted, abusive relationships where let's say, and oh my goodness, please don't take this the wrong way, because I have so much compassion for people who have gone through an abusive relationship, or they're stuck in one, and especially moms with children, and they don't have any financial means to escape. Maybe they're in an area where there isn't support. I mean, it's different all over the world. So, don't take this the wrong way, but this feels like one of those, like battered, abusive, like battered wife syndrome type of thing. And they're in such denial about it, major denial about it. It's almost like they'd rather die because they don't have anything else going on for them. They are so entrenched that they can't find their own, creativity. So then the biggest challenge with fragmentation, on just the plain physical level, fragmentation would be that the party splits. Right, but let's see what else it says in this book. I mean, to me, it feels like ego fragmentation. To me, is something that's very real for any human being. I believe that we each incarnate an aspect of our ego that we're needing to heal, and it in each lifetime, and it sets up experiences that we need to go through so that we can remember who we truly are. I mean, that's my take on the card. But in this deck, we have to go with the meaning of of the creator, and it's at the anger stage. So it talks about rage being projected inward, and destruction joins confusion, and we break. Yeah, so they're going to break up. That's the biggest challenge. It's not the future, but it's the biggest challenge, is are they going to break up? It's all about, in the little book here, it talks about losing a sense of self, crescendos of noise and pain, and a prelude to nothingness. Yeah, the rest of it just describes the vision, or the visuals here. Yeah, it's kind of about being in the void. So that's the challenge, breakup. Now, with this one up here, so these three, remember set the intention to figure out, show me all the reasons why they have aligned with Trump. Like, are they afraid for their lives? Well, with this card here, peaceful among thorns, and it's interesting, we've got 26, 27, 28 as these numbers. Yeah. Okay, so let's see. I mean, we can tell, let me hold up so you can get the visuals, unless I can keep the glare off of it. This is a stage of acceptance. So some of them just are accepting to die. These probably would be the GOP members who are not up for re-election, or they've decided not to, and they just don't care anymore. Like, they don't care about the party at all. They don't care about their position in life. They've got their lifetime pension. You know, they've got their lifetime financial, health support. They've got everything they want. You know, they get their 13 weeks of paid vacation every year. But anyway, so this card is another stage of acceptance, and it's saying the spiritual can't solve the material, but it can transcend it. Coexistence of the material and the spiritual is the human way to enlightenment, but God, I just heard spiritual bypassing. Whoa. So some of them don't care because they're not going to be around, like I said. And some of them just want to keep the peace. It's like peace at any price. It's like the distorted aspect of a Libra when they haven't found their power through relationship, through the vehicle of relationship yet. That's what I get really strongly. So these are the, like, well, we could say lily-livered. We could say these are the ones who, don't have any courage at all. They can't take a stand. Now this card, 22, says, I won't cry for you. Let's see what this one's all about. It's another one of the acceptance stages. So interesting. Okay. It's so I won't cry for you. Sometimes when it's over, closure must be created, not just found. With her back to the light of the moon, she sheds dry tears of blood. Yikes. She holds in her hand a cup-shaped vial full of blood as well. She gestures forward as if offering it. Oh. Yeah. Ooh, look at those. Yeah, that doesn't look fun at all, does it? That actually looks really horrific. So, in relationship with Trump, this tells me some of them just don't care. This has some apathy going on here. I might have to use the tarot as well just to see what we get, but the guidance sentence says, I gave you my last gift. I shed my last tear for you. It's a time not to let you free, but to let myself free. And something about breaking up can only be done by two persons. One will do it earlier maybe, but sooner or later the other will follow. One can afford to do it with words and actions. So it's about breakup. It's about breakup, and they're not going to cry for Trump. Now this revenge card here, that's really interesting. Let's see what that's about. That's at the anger stage. It's time to take arms against a sea of troubles, and by opposing, end them. So this has to do, I think, with their revenge against the Democrats. And no matter what, yeah, that says there is no white night, but there can be a black storm woven by fallen angels. Yeah. No, it talks about no more sense to bargain or negotiate, no more survival instinct to accept fear or ponder the consequences. It's a place we can reach at the limit of our abuse, with the last spark of our dignity surging up as a powerful black flame. We cry, we hurt, and we strike to destroy. So this talks about them destroying themselves. It's just like, you know, this card I got a year and a half or so ago. With the future of the GOP. They were going to commit suicide by hitching their wagon to Trump. And they have. And this is the revenge against the Democrats. So the future. These two cards were for the future. We've got hiding your true self. Number 14. Okay, so this is another one of the acceptance stages. So there's 3 acceptance cards. This one was denial. I think this one was denial too. So far just denial, acceptance, and anger. So another acceptance. Hiding is keeping things inside. Lack of trust becomes lack of hope. Yeah. Yeah. It just talks about their survival instinct. They're hiding in order to survive. And then the masquerade card, I don't know if I even really need to look that one up. I think it's just all about maskiness. Yeah, but when it comes to the stages of healing and grief, it's at the bargaining stage. And it says, what I can't have forever, I will have for a minute. What I can't have for a minute, I will hold to me for 1 second. Okay, well, that sounds powerful, huh? Not. Yeah. So it's talking about guilt and taking the mask of Don Juan. Oh, how interesting. Don Juan. More like Don the Con. The seducer is not a master of love, neither of manipulation. He is the master of the ephemeral. It's fleeting and brief and transient to the extreme. Yeah. So this is their future. That's not good. Let me draw a couple more cards. It's not good. Yes, fated to suffer. And this one right here. Downcast pride. Yeah, I don't think I need to really... Well, why not? What the heck? We're having fun, right? God. This card is a stage of depression. In the confines of a foggy forest, a misshaped woman hands a green and red apple to the younger woman. Yeah. Okay. Feeling confined into a script, forced by other and never really fought, heading towards a destination of pain. Yeah. Once upon a time, we lived in fairy tales. Yeah. They were the voice of common sense. Well, I don't think they've done that. No, they're fated to go through this. It's just like Trump says, they're going to go through some things. And then downcast pride. Well, you know, that's one of the things when we incarnate a piece of our ego fragment to heal. It's always full of pride and a whole lot of fear. And then there's a whole lot of self-will that has to kick in to cover up the fear. And if you just get inside of the pride, you can release the whole thing. But let's go ahead and look at it just to see if there's a different angle here. But it looks to me like they're hiding, they're covering up their pride, and they're definitely fated to suffer because of it. It's another card of depression. So depression, oppression, not having, they're covering up how depressed they are. They really don't know. I think it's just like I got in the very beginning. They really don't have anything else going on for themselves. And this card, it talks about them being under the habit of bending. Yeah. And it's all about delusion. So, yeah, It does. I mean, it looks awful here, but let's just because we're so used to the tarot, let me pause for a moment because these cards are pretty big. I'm going to drop the camera down and use a smaller deck. Okay, hold on. Okay, so bear with me while I shuffle. This is how I allow for reversals when I have really thick cards that don't riffle well. Okay, so again, I'm asking the same question. Are GOP members afraid for their lives? And I also want to look at their future. All these, just the ones who have aligned with Trump, who have held fast with Trump, who have hitched their wagon to a sinking ship is what I'm thinking. Because remember, I have to go back to this card that I got a long time ago. Future of the GOP. And we could tell with this dark mirror deck that they will be fragmenting. That's their biggest challenge. And there's, looks like a lot of depression going on. Anger, depression, self-destruction. So let's see what the tarot has. Some deeper answers. Or something we're used to seeing. I'm not used to that dark mirror deck, and I still don't feel really clear. Other than it doesn't look good. But I didn't get that they're afraid for their lives. Like, you know, I was wondering, it was like mob boss Don the Con, you know, working under Putin's playbook. Has he threatened them somehow? So far, I don't think so, but let's see the truth with the tarot. I only want the truth, as always. Okay. So that's what's going on. The force is in motion. Here's the challenge. Yeah. What's really going on? And then I'll do 3 cards. Actually, why not? Let's do 6 cards for the future. Ooh, of the GOP. And we'll get the clearest answer ever, and then I'll just let it go. Yes. Oh my goodness. Okay. Let's get these into frame here. How do you like them cards? God. So remember, these 6 are their future. And these are what's really going on. So with the 9 of Cups, this is Trump. This is Trump, and the red hat here reminds me of his connection with Putin. And he's, you know, this is like the traditional Rider-Waite. Some of the keywords are like the smug merchant. Like he's got everything he wants. He has everything he wants. And he has his connection with Putin. These 9 cups could even represent, well, we know for sure there were 7, but I think there were actually 15 that went to Russia, and then it got taken down off the internet. But remember the ones that went to Russia on July 4th, 2018, and they were supposed to meet with Putin, and supposedly they didn't get to, but I don't know if that's true. You know, it's just what news reports are saying. But anyway, this could be all of those that went to Russia with their hand out, you know, like their cup, like, okay, give me the money, I'm here, and I'll put the money into my campaign and I'll work for you type of thing. This, like, hook up with Trump and Putin. And their challenge has been in balancing their resources. Like, do they have the money? And they had to go, well, we've got the ship here, you know, back here. So they're, again, in the red hat, red, Russian, you know, Russian, foreign, back here. You can see it right there in the image. So when the Two of Pentacles comes through reversed, I mean, it comes through in a challenged position, we read it just as if it would be reversed. And that means financial losses, and they had no other like backup plan. So that's why they went to Russia. And, you know, Trump probably told him, do that and you'll get some money. You know, I'll make sure you get some money. Just do that, align with me, and you'll get some money. Now, with these 4 cards up here, are they afraid for their lives? I don't see that at all. Except for this is a card of bad leadership. This 3 of Wands reversed is it's definitely a bad leader. Definitely self-doubt, lack of growth, you know, big old setbacks. It's like when it's straight up, it's like you've put your ships out into the water and you're waiting for them to come back. Well, when it's reversed, the ships were either, you know, either you went in the wrong direction, the captain of your ship didn't know which way he was going, or pirates came and stole all your goods, or whatever. But it didn't work out. But some of them were just apathetic. This is my card for apathy. Now, on a mob boss kind of level, this is an offer you don't want, but you can't refuse. And with this Queen of Cups reversed, it brings in that darkness of being very, very insecure and needy and immature. So I don't see that they're being threatened for their lives. I just see that they're just stupid. They're stupid, and they don't have, they're ignorant, stupid, which is a different thing. You know, ignorance means you don't have the information. Stupid means you got it, but you don't care. This is more stupid than ignorant for me. And then with the Temperance card here, I'm seeing this on a completely different level. I don't feel like it has anything to do with them being patient. I think it has to do with them joining forces. These cups going back and forth between, and it feels very, you know, we can see it's ruled by Sag. Well, Sag is ruled by Jupiter. Jupiter rules foreign lands. I've got 3 cards here that tell me about foreign lands. 4 cards. This is a foreign land card. So, yeah, so they're not afraid. They just went for the money in a different place because they couldn't. Bottom line is, it's what we've known all along, that the GOP cannot win unless they cheat. And part of the way they have cheated is to get money from other countries. Okay, so moving forward into their future. Well, this is a card of being locked out in the cold, not having the 5 of Pentacles is all about greed and materialism and trying to protect yourself, but it has to do with security and position, you know, your position in life. And obviously, they're out in the cold. They're not... this has them being rejected. They're out in the cold, being rejected. They've gone beyond the place where it's greedy and materialistic, and there's a financial loss and a breakup. So the future is a party's broken up. So it's just like we already got with the with that dark mirror deck, the fragmentation card. Here it is again in the future. Same thing here, I think. Now, with the Page of Pentacles, this is, you know, it's not a strong position. It's going back to R&D. It's going back to, well, it could be the votes, you know, because the Pentacles, they're all about something physical. So when voting time comes through again, they're going to be back at square one. Okay, now what do we do, kind of thing. Now what do we do? And with the 5 of Swords reversed, whew, I Some of this could be revenge, because they're out in the cold and just kind of revenge. You know, they're going to be vengeful, but for some of them, they're going to compromise and just go, okay, I lost. What do I do now? You know, and the ones that compromise and try to find a new game plan here, they'll have some success. But the light's coming out. We will know the greedy ones, the dark ones, that will all come out. And then, so some will have some success in the future because they're going to have to align with, maybe they'll even leave their party and move to either independent or Democrat. Maybe. But then it's still very disappointing. This is a major loss, major loss, and the challenge is to turn around and see what you have. You know, don't focus on what you don't have. Turn around and see what you do have, and cross this bridge into a whole new life. But you know, this is a card of mourning first. Now, with the Nine of Pentacles reversed, this is dependency. This has to do with being jealous. It has to do with workaholism sometimes. It has to do with reckless type of financial spending, because the Pentacles, remember, has to do with money. So it looks to me like some of them are going to have to go into debt, and some of them are going to be completely gone. The ones that stick with it and grieve and try to reinvent themselves, it will be very, very costly for them. And they are going to have to work really hard to try and recover. And they will be dependent upon, you know, means of, you know, other people to, this would be, you know, dependent upon the super PACs and things like that. So we really just need to, you know, get the dark money out of politics. And, you know, I mean, there are a lot of PACs that are actually positive, but the dark money politics, as of, you know, Federalist Society and Citizens United and the Heritage Foundation and Opus Dei, and there may be others that we don't even know about. We need transparency as to where the money's coming from. So it doesn't look good for them in the future. That's for darn sure. So this is an update, because I know I've read on the future of the GOP before, but it's so long ago I can't remember all the cards that came through, except for this one that I did for a Facebook friend. But anyway, I'm sure it's in there in my library if you're a new viewer, or if you want to rewatch it and see, you know, see if there's any correlation here. So, okay, well, that's it. I think I'll just get this uploaded and maybe get another reading done. Okay, take care, you guys. Bye.